Welcome back to the Ancestral Findings podcast. By 1800, the United States was still a young nation, just 17 years removed from the end of the Revolutionary War. The country was still small, the West had yet to be explored, and the Louisiana Purchase hadn't even happened. John Adams was only the second president, and many people, both within the U.S. and abroad, saw the new republic as an experiment, uncertain if it would survive. Yet, despite its youth, the nation was growing. Settlers were pushing westward, new states were forming, and the population was expanding. And just as in 1790, the federal government needed a way to count its people, assess its strength, and organize representation in Congress. That's where the 1800 U.S. federal census comes in. This was the second official count of the American people. And while it wasn't as detailed as later censuses, it still offers a wealth of information for genealogists. If you've ever wondered where your ancestors were at the turn of the 19th century, this census might hold the answers. The 1800 U.S. Census was authorized by Congress on February 28, 1800, and was required to include all existing states, along with the Northwest Territory and the Mississippi Territory. For the first time, the District of Columbia was also counted. When the census began, John Marshall was serving as Secretary of State and was in charge of overseeing the enumeration. However, partway through the process, he was appointed Chief Justice of the Supreme Court in 1801. That left James Madison, the future fourth U.S. President, to take over as Secretary of State. It was Madison who finalized the census results and reported them to Congress. The final count from the 1800 census revealed that the United States had grown to a population of just over 5.3 million people, a significant increase from the 3.9 million recorded in 1790. However, nearly 900,000 of those individuals were enslaved, reflecting the ongoing reality of slavery in the early republic. This was also the last census in which Virginia held the title of the most populous state. As the nation expanded, other states would soon overtake it in population. Like the 1790 census, the 1800 census only recorded the name of the head of each household, with all other household members counted in age and gender categories. This can sometimes frustrate genealogists who are used to later censuses that list individuals by name. However, the 1800 census still provides crucial details that can help reconstruct family groups. Each entry typically included name of the head of household, number of free white males in age brackets, under 10, 10 to under 16, 16 to under 26, 26 to under 45, 45 and older, number of free white females in the same age brackets, number of all other free persons in the household, number of enslaved individuals. This census gives us a snapshot of an ancestor's household who was living there, their likely relationships, and even hints at possible extended family members or hired workers. For example, if you find an ancestor listed as the head of household with multiple young children, you may be able to estimate when they started their family or whether they had older parents living with them. It's also a great resource for tracking migrations. If an ancestor appears in a different state than where they were recorded in 1790, it may suggest a move westward. One difficulty with researching the 1800 U.S. Census is that, like many early records, some of it has been lost over time. Census records for Georgia, Kentucky, Tennessee, Virginia, and New Jersey were completely lost, and parts of other states are missing due to damage, misplacement, or possible destruction. Despite these losses, many census substitutes, such as tax lists, land records, and early state censuses, can help fill in the gaps. Another challenge is the handwritten format. Since pre-printed census forms weren't introduced until 1830, each enumerator had to draw the columns by hand. This led to variations in formatting, missing column headers, and inconsistent handwriting. Some records are easier to read than others, but with patience they can reveal a great deal about your ancestors. It's easy to overlook early censuses because they don't list every individual by name. But the 1800 census is still an incredibly valuable tool for family historians. It confirms an ancestor's location. Knowing where your ancestor lived at this time can help you locate other records, such as wills, property deeds, or church documents. It helps reconstruct families. The age brackets can provide clues about missing children, spouses, or extended family members. It shows migration patterns. If your ancestor moved between 1790 and 1800, this census may help pinpoint when and where they relocated. It documents the expansion of the United States. This is one of the last censuses before the Louisiana Purchase and before westward expansion really took off. It captures families in their early years of settlement. If you've ever been tempted to skip the 1800 census in your genealogy research, don't. It may not have the full details of later records, but it still holds hidden treasures about your ancestors and their place in early American history. The 1800 U.S. Census is more than just a list of names and numbers. It's a window into the past, showing us what life was like for our ancestors at the dawn of the 19th century. It reminds us that the United States was still in its infancy, full of uncertainty, but also full of promise. For genealogists, this census is an important stepping stone. It helps bridge the gap between the Revolutionary War generation and the families who would shape the future of the nation. Even with its limitations, it provides key insights into where and how our ancestors lived. So if you're researching family members from this era, take the time to explore the 1800 census. You never know what discoveries you'll make about your past. Thank you for tuning into the Ancestral Findings podcast. Be sure to visit ancestralfindings.com to grab your free genealogy ebook, ask for a complimentary genealogy lookup, and sign up for our weekly historical postcard giveaway. A special thanks to our Patreon supporters. Your contributions help to anchor our family tree firmly in the ground, allow our lineage to fly high, and keep our journey through history on the right path. Wishing you a fantastic day and happy searching.